Welcome to Golden Bachelor. If you love celebrity news and real entertainment updates, you're in the right place. The story of love, especially love found later in life, always feels a little sweeter, a little braver, and sometimes a little more heartbreaking. And today, Joan Vassos has once again reminded everyone that even the strongest hearts can carry tender moments. After months of whispers, curiosity, and fans trying to read between every line, Joan has finally confirmed what many hoped wouldn't be true. She and Chuck Chappell have gone their separate ways. But this isn't just a breakup. It's a story about how two people chose honesty, courage, and gentleness instead of holding on to something that no longer felt right. And honestly, that makes the story even more beautiful. Joan, with her calm presence and soft-spoken strength, has always been someone who carefully chooses her words. She doesn't rush, she doesn't force, she simply opens her heart when she's ready. So when she addressed the situation directly, fans listened, because they knew she wasn't just speaking to fill the silence, she was speaking because the moment had come to share the truth. She explained that the connection she once shared with Chuck had shifted. Not suddenly, not dramatically, but quietly, like leaves turning color at the start of autumn. You don't always notice the change until you finally look closely. And when she did, she realized their paths were no longer moving in the same direction. It wasn't anger, it wasn't betrayal, it wasn't the dramatic ending you'd expect from a TV romance. Instead, it was two adults making a thoughtful choice, long after the camera stopped rolling and the spotlight dimmed. A real-world decision between two real people. Still, even the softest endings can sting, and Joan admitted it wasn't an easy step. She had so much hope going into the relationship. She believed in the possibility of something lasting, something comforting, something worth fighting for. And for a while, it truly looked like it might be that. Their smiles seemed genuine. Their chemistry felt warm, and the support pouring in from fans made everything feel even more magical. But life loves little plot twists, doesn't it? Just when you think the puzzle is finished, a piece suddenly doesn't fit the way it used to. Joan said she realized holding on would have been unfair to herself and to Chuck. And in that realization, she chose something incredibly powerful: honesty over convenience. It takes courage to walk away from a relationship that the world expects you to keep. It takes strength to put your emotional health first when everyone else is cheering for a happily ever after. Chuck, on his side, has remained respectful, supportive, quiet. And let's be honest, there's something admirable about a man who doesn't turn a private matter into public drama. No angry posts, no vague messages, no attention-seeking interviews, just dignity. The relationship may have ended, but the respect between them hasn't. Now, if you know Joan, you know she isn't one to sit around with tissues and sad music in the background. She's the type who feels deeply but moves forward with grace. And fans are already noticing how different she seems. Lighter, more open, and strangely more confident. Almost like the end of this chapter has given her a chance to breathe in a new beginning. She's spending more time with her family, reconnecting with friends, and truly embracing the freedom of living life at her own pace. And yes, she's been smiling in every recent update, those quiet, meaningful smiles that tell you she's healing, she's learning, and she's ready for whatever comes next. Some fans are joking that now she's single again, she might need a grocery store escort, because let's be real, she probably can't walk down the produce aisle without being noticed. Imagine her trying to pick out avocados while 100 strangers whisper, "Is she single? Should I ask for her number? Is this my chance?" Honestly, the thought is hilarious and a little bit true. But the breakup hasn't dimmed her romantic spirit. Joan has always believed in love, not the perfect fairy tale kind, but the kind built on kindness, effort, and real connection. And she made it very clear, just because one relationship ended doesn't mean her story is over. In fact, she said something beautifully refreshing. Love doesn't expire, it just transforms. And sometimes it guides you to the person you were always meant to meet. Maybe that person hasn't appeared yet.
Maybe they're already in her orbit without realizing it. Maybe it's someone she hasn't crossed paths with at all. But the important thing is, Joan hasn't closed her heart. She simply turned the page, and fans are reacting with so much support. Messages of love, encouragement, and admiration are flooding in everywhere. People are proud of her, not because she ended a relationship, but because she chose honesty and self-respect over staying in something that no longer served both sides. And honestly, who wouldn't admire that? What's even more interesting is that her journey is starting conversations about love at any age. People often forget that romance doesn't belong only to the young, that butterflies don't retire, that hope doesn't disappear. Joan is showing everyone that emotional bravery can bloom at any moment in life. And her story reminds us of something else too. Breakups don't define you, they refine you. So, where does Joan go from here? She's focusing on joy. She's embracing new routines. She's learning, laughing, and even poking fun at the situation sometimes. She mentioned that love may not always follow the script, but maybe that's what makes it worth searching for. Love isn't a checklist, it's an adventure, and adventures are meant to surprise you. She's open, she's hopeful, she's calm, and she's ready for whatever the universe decides to place gently on her path. And for fans who adored her journey, she left a simple message: thank you. Not for picking sides, not for pushing her to date again immediately, but for simply standing beside her with kindness, for understanding that she's human, for respecting her space and cheering her on. And honestly, that's exactly what she deserves. Before we wrap up this story, one thing is clear. Joan Vassos may have faced a breakup, but she hasn't lost love. She's simply giving herself permission to find the version of it that truly fits her life, her heart, and her future. And who knows what that future holds? Maybe another romance, maybe a surprising connection, maybe a love story even sweeter than the last. Whatever it is, it's going to be beautiful, because she's beautiful, with or without a partner beside her. If you enjoyed this story and want more updates, stories, and behind-the-scenes moments from your favorite reality stars, make sure you stick around. There's always more to uncover, more to explore, and more stories waiting to unfold. And remember, every ending is just the start of something new. Thanks for watching Golden Bachelor. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next big story.